Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be telling you how Kings Island could become the world's best amusement park in less than 10 years. The first step is getting a mock extreme spinner / a vortex replacement. Now, why does it have to be a mock extreme spinner? I mean, it doesn't have to be, but a launch coaster would do wonders for Kings Island. Extreme spinners are kind of just the best version of launch coasters, and I know that they are not very they're popular models, but they're not super popular. I don't know if Cedar Fair would take the risk with an extreme spinner, but it definitely would be the best coaster type for Kings Island as of right now. It is super gimmicky, and Ride to Happiness, if they could get a clone or something very similar to that, that would definitely be a top 10 worthy coaster. Now, let's talk about another coaster they could use, and this is an RMC hybrid. The first one I'm showing you is Vector's RMC Son of Beast. Is like 251 feet tall, 250 feet tall, and this looks like one of the best RMCs. Like, if this was a real coaster, it would definitely be in the top 10, maybe number 1. This would compete with Steel Vengeance. Now, I know Cedar Fair doesn't want to do this, and I know that they don't want to top Steel Vengeance, but Steel Vengeance has already been topped, guys. Maybe not ride-wise, but height and speed-wise, it's been topped by Energylandia Zadra, which is a foot taller, and Iron Gwazi, which is also a foot taller and 1 degree steeper. The big thing with this one, though, is it would be the only RMC with a vertical loop, the tallest and the fastest, and they could also make it the longest, make not 7,000 feet, but maybe a 6,000 foot RMC, maybe 7,000 if they really wanted to go that far in length, because Son of Beast was a super long coaster. I don't see them doing it with how little land they have back there in between Bat and Banshee. You would have to take a lot of risks to get this project done, but it would definitely be worth it for Kings Island. But it's definitely a very risky project. And the other question is, does Cedar Fair trust RMC? I think that they will give a project to RMC maybe next year or the year after, maybe at Canada's Wonderland, to gain trust back with them. And I definitely could see that, but I don't think RMC and Cedar Fair don't really trust each other. I just don't think Cedar Fair has felt the need to go back to RMC. Now hear me out. So basically, what? They could get a Raptor for one of their parks? What park really needs a Raptor? Maybe Cedar Point gets a T-Rex at some point? But, none of their parks really needed an RMC at this point. Carowinds could have RMC'd Hurler, but that probably would have been very similar to Twisted Timbers. So, I just don't feel like they felt the need to get an RMC yet. And I think that this could be a good coaster for them. And the other thing is, and I think this is way more likely, is why not get an RMC like Airy Force 1? This coaster only costs $15 million, and I get it, that might seem like a lot of money, and to a normal person, that is a lot of money. However, for a large-scale amusement park, that is a pretty cheap roller coaster for a park like Kings Island, with Banshee, Diamondback, and Orion all passing $20 million. A coaster like Airy Force 1 would be a perfect addition for Kings Island, and it's not a huge RMC. It wouldn't top Steel Vengeance height or speed-wise, which is Cedar Fair's main fear, but it could top it in ranking-wise. Airy Force 1 is considered one of, if not the best RMC hybrid out there. And I get it. And this went to a small park like Fun Spot Atlanta. You're telling me it's Fun Spot can get one Kings Island can't? Now, the other one is a B&M wing coaster. I'm showing you a very old wing coaster in Wild Eagle, but a wing coaster would be great for Kings Island as well. It isn't super gimmicky like a mock extreme spinner, but it is kind of gimmicky, if that makes sense. Because really, it's not the same as being in a normal sit-down position. You're on the wing of a coaster. And the other question is, do you want a top Gatekeeper? Gatekeeper is the tallest, I think still tallest wing coaster, and even if it isn't, I don't think they'll want it to go taller than that. So I can see them getting a very small-ish wing coaster, maybe 140 feet. That might be a little tall, but this will go over Kings Island's front gate and be like the Vertigo and Congo Falls replacement, and that would be perfect because one coaster would be better than Vertigo and Congo Falls combined. They don't do anything for the park, and Vertigo just needs to go at some point. This could come anytime in between the next 10 years to the next 20. Now, this is a very out there idea, because the wing coaster probably won't be here in the next 10 years, because Kings Island's not going to get 3 coasters in the next 10 years. They'll get 2, but probably not 3. But I'm bringing the wing coaster up because I don't think the RMC hybrid will really happen in the next 10 years. I think that a wing coaster and Invertigo on Conga Falls hitting the chopping block is way more likely than an RMC hybrid. Next is they need a Zamperla Nebulous. This is the best flat ride I've ever been on, and Cedar Fair is gaining trust with Zamperla. Zamperla does amazing work, builds amazing flat rides. This could fit in well with a Ventureport, or they could put this in the Vortex plot of land, if that makes sense. Like, put one of these over there, and then have a coaster over there, and make that like a whole little area. Because I think Kings Island needs some more themed areas, and I think that this would really fit into like a new like space themed area, or like wild area. There's something really interesting that Kings Island could do, as these are very enjoyable flat rides, and Kings Island really needs a ride that's nice to look at, because Vortex was that. Next is an air race. Air races look like super fun and enjoyable rides, and they have one of these at Carowinds, showing that they have no fear of building these at their parks, and this thing looks super fun, and they need more flat rides that go upside down. The only one that they have right now is going to be Soul Spin, and this would be a great addition because every park needs a few flat rides that go upside down, and I think this would be the best one. And this would probably be better than Soul Spin, but I don't know if it'd be better than like Delirium. Even though Delirium doesn't go upside down, Delirium is still a lot of fun. Now, like, the other thing is a water park edition, and I wouldn't have included this if there wasn't something going on at the water park, and that is them removing their Pipeline Paradise, and this is a water coaster. Their water park needs a water coaster. Compete with Great Wolf Lodge, and water coasters are just awesome in general. This would probably be a more modern one than the one at the Great Wolf Lodge parks, but I mean, like, a more modern water coaster would be perfect. Well, guys, thank you for watching.